Hey folks, Chicken Man on the Run episode 12 is coming up next. And this is probably one of my favorite episodes. There's a awesome little town in New Mexico called Pie Town. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere. And I went and talked to Kathy. I was really hoping to go and try her peach green chili pie, which is phenomenal and one of the best things I've ever had. But unfortunately, she has some really bad news to share with me. So we talk about that and what she's going to be doing and what the future holds for Pioneer in Pie Town. I hope you enjoy.
So what are we doing? Are we started?
Yeah, we're recording. So I don't know what episode this is. I've kind of lost track.
I don't know what day this is. Let's see. You were going to show up
Chicken
on
Man
Tuesday.
episode something. 12 or 11, 13, I'm not sure. 12, I think.
Wow.
We're here in Pie Town at the Pioneer with Kathy. And you've been here since 1995. And due to coronavirus, why don't you just explain the situation you're in now?
When we heard the virus was going to impact businesses, we tried to justify opening for Pi Day. It was a big deal.
March 14th.
March 14th, 3.141592 goes on.
I have to explain that for the knuckleheads.
Forever, the never-ending pi. It's an irrational number. I love that. I had people literally that planned this day a year in advance for their birthdays, their anniversaries.
Oh, really?
Their wedding anniversaries, they come for pie.
Okay.
It's what they do.
Okay.
And I had this pressure from all these people coming from all over. We're coming for Pie Day. And we were prepared, but we were nervous. And we set up sanitizing stations. And we encouraged people to social distance, which was tricky. Most people were not too worried. It was early. Mm-hmm. It was, just coming into where we ought to think about this. And we got through that opening day, which was great. And I said, we need to stop and reassess because this is a little nerve-wracking, disinfecting everything all the time. And I think the next day, the governor of New Mexico said it had been no groups of 100 or more, and then it was no groups of 50. And I think the day after that, it was no groups over 10. And we're like, whoa, we just barely made it through that window. So we put a message on the phone saying, look, we're going to feel this out. Give us a couple weeks. We'll either reopen early April or mid-April when this passes.
Right.
Nobody thought it was going to devastate our country. Because it's America.
Or last month. Yeah.
I mean, it could devastate Europe and China, but it's America. We got this. We'll be back in business in no time. Whoa. Yeah. So, over the next couple months.
Did they shut you down specifically or you chose?
We closed before the mandatory closings.
Okay, gotcha.
Out of just being afraid.
Out of caution.
And we have set up our system. People come in the door, they file, the pie bar. It's a buffet. You grab a pie or two pies, you get your ice cream, your drink, you check out, it's self-service. You go get another one. It's an honor system. We'd say, we know your name. You'll pay or you'll send us money in the mail like a lot of other people that forget. We don't do the table service thing. So we were on the tail end of businesses being allowed to reopen because of our style.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
When they said you can reopen at 25% or curbside or delivery only,
right.
They said no buffets or counter service or anything where people gather.
Okay.
So we were still legally not allowed to open when other places were starting soft reopenings. And people asked, well, can we pick up a pie to go? And I said, look, if I have to come in and fire up my oven and make pie, I need to make a lot of pie.
How many pies would you make on an average day?
An average day would be 2 pie bakers, sometimes 3 on the weekends, and 30 to 40 pies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pies.
It's a lot of pies. And a lot of people would order them in advance and we'd make whole pies and have them with their name on them when they came in. every day was different, but we never had a slow day, and we almost always ran out. And I would love to just have 1 or 2 pies for my friends who say, I'm coming through. And I used to. I used to all the time on my days off. I'd be in here getting ready for the weekend anyway, and I'd throw a pie and they'd come, we'd have coffee, it'd be great. I said, I can't walk in that kitchen and fire it all up and make a pie or 2 and use the utilities and give you your pie and go home. Almost all my day has been involved in your 1 or 2 pie. It doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense. Yeah. Financially, it would have been going backwards the utilities in the middle of nowhere are kind of expensive.
Oh, interesting.
I'm very, very careful about waste. Mm-hmm. You can't afford waste in this business. And so I need to do an allotted number of pies and sell them to keep going ahead.
Right.
So that wasn't an option. 1 or 2 pies. Someone interviewed me for KOB TV, and she said, well, did you try curbside pickup? And I said, we don't have curbs. She had not been here.
Oh, that's pretty funny. And I love that.
It's a rational question. Yeah. She said, well, what about delivery? I said, most of my customers come from other states.
Yeah.
It's just different. It's
so
different.
Anyone watching this understands we are kind of in the middle of nowhere.
We call it the center of the universe, top of the continental divide.
I love the ride out here. That's one of my favorite, most beautiful rides that I really enjoy.
I do it every week, going to town and back, and I still love it.
We're 80 miles away from I-25.
We are 86 miles from Socorro.
Yeah.
That's where I do my local shopping. If I need big box stuff like plastics and garbage bags, that kind of stuff, I go to Costco in Albuquerque. That's 150 miles.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
One way.
Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere.
So delivery wasn't an option.
Not an option.
Curbside pickup wasn't an option. And we didn't want to go back to table service because we're too small staff-wise.
Right.
So we just kept thinking. I continually advised people online and on my phone message, we're still trying to figure it out. We'll let you know when we know it's safe and responsible to reopen. We had that in mind because we had stocked up for a good season. And I think it was last week, the pressure really hit me for Father's Day and 4th of July. I mean, my email, when are you reopening? We want to come. We're planning our whole vacation around Pie Town. We come every year. We're not coming to Pie Town if you're not open. And I just felt so obligated to do something. Mm-hmm. See, it'd say, let's do it. Hand sanitizers, mask, gloves, which I don't know how to bake a pie with gloves.
That sounds horrible. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, you got to feel everything. Yeah. And we use gloves for sanitation in serving stuff, but the making of the pie and pie is about sharing.
Yeah.
To become a hall monitor and ask people at the door, when you're not eating, please keep your mask on. It completely goes against welcome to Pie Town.
The whole vibe is different then.
The whole vibe would be different. And we made a very difficult decision to pull the plug, not just close temporarily because we could not continue to keep all the utilities on, the insurance, the things that don't go away just because you're not open. We could not continue to do that all summer and not work.
Okay.
My staff, my two people, they're good. They're doing other things. I told them early on, look, if you can find a job, get it.
Right.
I don't know how long this is going to last. I can't hang you up. I can't promise you anything. We applied for the PPP. And we actually got, they said you can have $1,000, but the restrictions didn't really, it wasn't applicable to us. We own the building. I don't have a mortgage. It had to go to mortgage and payroll and some utilities, but most of my needs were, I needed to pay my insurance. That wasn't one of the qualifications. Insurance on a building that's wooden, in the middle of nowhere with a wood stove and gas. it's an underwriter's nightmare.
Yeah.
Volunteer fire department. Nobody wants to insure me. So my nut to crack for the insurance is huge.
Oh, interesting.
And PPP wouldn't, no, you can't do that. So I could give my 2 employees a little bit of money and keep a tiny bit for insurance, but then I'm like, oh, and I got to pay some of it back. It didn't apply for us. So we had tried, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. With reservation only, you can pick up your pie. I just finally was overwhelmed, and I finally said, if we're going to make a decision, we have to think about what's best for us. Mm-hmm. And what's best for us is to look ahead at what we were thinking about down the road and make this stop. Stop the bleeding.
Yeah.
Just pull the plug. We had already talked to the utility companies. We told them, look, we have no income, so can we do this? Can we do that? And everyone was great. We have a commercial phone line with Wi-Fi and all that. We kept the phone line, but we changed it to residential. They said, just don't advertise it and you're fine.
Oh,
but
cool.
You cannot advertise a residential number as commercial.
Okay.
It saved us $100 a month. I mean, I don't have Wi-Fi, but I don't care. I'm not here. So we went through all the cost-cutting measures we could while we were trying to figure out what to do and put a lot of stuff on hold. And I didn't see how we could continue all summer.
Right.
If it didn't come back, it was one of those, I don't know what to do. Someone make a decision, but there was no one to make a decision. So we made it. And it was one of those, well, once you say you're closing for good, you can't go back. So it was a couple sleepless nights and some boxes of Kleenexes. And I said, I got to write something. I got to push the button. I got to just do it. And we'll be okay. Eventually, we'll open our other business. A couple of people have asked me, why would you close down an Icon and open another business? And I said, that's a rational question.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And the rational answer is it's far more affordable to let people sleep than to feed them.
Oh, interesting.
The overhead is
And the new project is
it's
bed and breakfast?
It won't be a bed and breakfast per se. It will be a guest house.
Okay.
And we're going to focus on retreats.
Oh, cool. Okay.
We have a huge facility. It's a massive boarding house from the 1800s. Big communal areas downstairs, kitchen, great room. All the private rooms and bathrooms upstairs with a big library. We want to bring small groups, 6 to 10 adults, let them have the facility, cook for them, take them hiking, whatever. And let them do whatever they need to do, whether it's just relax or brainstorm or practice a discipline, art, yoga, Tai Chi, whatever. The space is there. So they're physically going to check in, put their stuff down, and they have the run of the place.
Oh, cool. That's
and
fun.
Then we have in the past done the walk-in or we'd like a room for tonight. And it was good, but we want to focus our energy on bringing in a house full, locking the door and saying, there's your key. It's your house.
That's cool. I like that.
And I do believe in the post-COVID era, renting an entire facility is going to be desirable.
Oh.
So in other words, you're not sharing a house with 6 other couples.
Right.
You're sharing a house with
you're with
your group.
Yeah.
And there's no worrying about who just washed their hands.
And that probably will be easier to maintain than trying to even keep all this clean or sanitize this and deal with all that protocol.
The minute I let one person in here, I have to follow them around with my little sanitizer. Yeah. And it's nutso. This is nutso. I can't do it.
Just chase them with a can of Lysol, fogging them the whole way.
Welcome.
Hopefully it doesn't get in the pie.
Yeah, Pie Day was neurotic.
Yeah, it wasn't. You probably weren't able to enjoy it at all.
We weren't sure it was okay, but we were like, I haven't been anywhere out of town. Have you? Hug me. And we might not do this for a while.
Right.
We were not sure what we were getting into. It was gray. It hadn't become black and white yet. It was that nebulous. We didn't have a protocol because it was changing so fast. And now that we know this is for a while, that we're going to have to be very careful, it is completely, it's just so not what we do.
Yeah.
Hi, sweetie. So we had to make that call. And now I'm glad because it's easier to explain it. Saying I don't know, it was just difficult.
Right.
And so now that I've done all the crying and the,
Yeah.
I can't believe
All
we're
the
not doing this
emotions.
ever again. I am grateful to be past that hurdle and to be looking forward.
Yeah, that's awesome that you get to go and do that other thing.
It is awesome. Yeah. We have a backup plan.
That's
not
great.
a lot of people do.
Yeah.
This is Grant. He's been here
Howdy.
several times.
Good to see you.
Stanley.
Yeah.
So everything's good?
Yeah. Everything's good.
You want to be interviewed?
Come on. Here.
Sure. Come sit down.
You got another mic?
I don't.
You can share mine.
So yeah, you can just either hand it back and forth or here if you can get on this side of
My mic is
Kathy.
over here, so
I can back up a little bit too.
Oh, let me get this on the chair.
so Grant's just asking questions and I'm blah 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 blah. And he'll edit.
Oh no, I won't edit much.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's more entertaining, I think. You're out of the shot now. You want to come in a little bit? There you go. No, I've been leaving most everything just raw because I think eventually I'm going to turn all these into podcasts.
I
Is
think
the
it's
ultimate
brilliant.
plan.
And
Thank you.
when
Thank
you contacted me, I went, dang, what a great idea.
Thank you. I was inspired, so I set off into the wild blue
You?
yonder.
Took advantage of an opportunity, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
This is history.
Yeah. 100%.
And people need to be able to witness it.
Well, and what's amazing to me, and I love what you guys are doing, is I'm shocked by how many people. So Stanley, I started doing barbecue to make my ends meet because I do entertainment industry, and all our work went away.
Yeah.
And I noticed how many more people were doing positive things like that. Like that's how they were dealing with everything.
You guys aren't
if that
6
makes
feet
sense.
away.
Yeah. I keep backing up.
We don't have a mask on you, but that's okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just awesome seeing people react positively to something scary and do new things.
Yeah. So where was your barbecue?
In Los Angeles.
He's
Yeah,
a production guy for TV.
Yeah, I do props for TV commercials and shows and stuff.
So you were doing barbecue on the side.
Yeah.
Or was it
Just for
production
fun.
on the side?
Huh? No, barbecue on the side. But yeah, I was
You were in
doing
the hospitality business then.
a little bit. Yeah.
Was it a roadshow or did you have a brick and mortar?
No. Out of my backyard, just 2 smokers in the back of my house, and I was delivering it all over LA. Yeah, because there was no traffic. So $10, I would deliver anywhere in Los Angeles from Santa Clarita to Long Beach. Like I'd be on the road for 4 or 5 hours and do 20 deliveries. And
You could have
But there was no
never,
traffic,
You
so
could have never done that.
on a regular day, that would have taken me 15 hours to just do that.
Pre-corona, you can't navigate LA.
Yeah, no, you
can't
couldn't.
without a
You couldn't
helicopter.
at all. Yeah, exactly. Well, so it sounds like, you've filled me in on pretty much everything, but
He asked how we came to the decision.
yeah,
Pretty much told him it wasn't easy.
To move
To close.
move the pie shop.
Yeah.
And to close. Well, yeah, we've been wanting to move the pie shop for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
Getting it ready. We've been like getting the restoration completed and getting our minds wrapped around the move. And then this thing hit. We're geared up to open. Look at the place. It's ready.
yeah,
It's ready to open up right now, but it's just not. It's not in our interest to do it financially or safety wise.
Yeah. We're taking a gap year. I tell people it's like,
So how long till you open the other project, do you think?
We're shooting for June next year,
Okay.
but the inn has been running since 2001. Actually, I started Silver Creek Inn in 1991, but it was as a restaurant then. I didn't get rooms done until 2001.
Okay.
But I started hospitality in Mogollon in 1979, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And,
What?
as a full-blown, full-service restaurant
Oh, neat. Okay.
in an 1885 Adobe.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
which made no sense because the road to it takes 20 minutes to half an hour to drive 9 miles.
It's that.
And it gets smaller and windier and more dangerous. And then you arrive in this canyon and he had a restaurant.
I love it.
People would literally.
You guys really like being out in the.
Well, we bailed from, I bailed from, the city life like you are experiencing now in 78. Actually, I started phasing out in 74 when I quit the, I was in Silicon Valley actually in 1969.
Okay.
Satellite tracking.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah, Apollo moon stuff,
Oh, no way.
developing espionage satellite tracking for the U.S. Air Force.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, back in the day. And so, we've been through the gamut of it. And I escaped to Catron County in 79
Okay.
after, quite a few city things going on, corporate, work. But decided, well, it's time to go to the country and do hospitality. So that's what we did. And
That's awesome.
At the time, my brother-in-law we were all pretty young. I mean, I was 33. My brother-in-law was 23. He's a chef from the Bay Area. He was trained as a chef in the Bay Area. He cooked for, the high-dollar, high-end restaurants in
Oh, wow.
Redwood City and, the like. And he bailed too. So we went there and we built a restaurant in this old building. And it didn't take long. Like the first year was kind of slow, but the second year we were booked.
Oh, wow.
People would come from 90 miles away to
No
come to
way.
dinner. Yeah.
That's awesome. Up this
little
windy
road. Yeah.
What is that building still there, or is it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
That's where we're
That's the
moving
one.
to.
We're
Okay.
gonna-
Okay. I understand now.
It was not in great shape.
Okay.
These guys were young vagabond gypsies and trying to make a buck.
I gotcha. I love
So they
it.
didn't have to go back to work in the city.
We were restoring it, but it takes a lot of time to restore. This building is like 5,000 square feet, and it's
Okay.
2-story adobe.
Yeah.
And it was needing help. It hadn't been occupied for 40 years, and it was falling down.
Yeah.
So anyway, we turned it around, and it's a beautiful inn now. So we're going down there to reopen next spring, next summer actually. Well, it'll be in June, first part of June.
You know what I find fascinating? While we've had the pie shop closed for extensive remodeling, the inn paid the bills. While the inn was closed for a fire one summer and a flood the next summer in the Gila Wilderness, this paid all
paying
bills
for
for
that?
both places.
Oh, that's great.
I mean, people
It
say,
covered.
you two are just vagabonds chasing a buck. And I'm like, well, what do you do when you escape corporate America?
Yeah.
You work where there's income.
Yeah.
And so we have used each place to keep the wheels on the train while the other place faltered or was being restored. And now this building is pretty much complete, ready for someone to move in and take over. And it's taken 20 some years. And his building, which has taken over 40 years, is complete and ready for us to go take over.
That's great.
So it's a nice transition for us. It's accelerated.
Right.
We didn't expect to be doing
this
it
thing
right
has
now.
forced a lot of people's hands as well.
Well, we're fortunate, and we know it, to have that in the wings.
Right. Yeah.
We will not do it till next year because we don't feel right about bringing strangers in yet.
Yeah.
But I hope that we'll be running that and someone will be running this and everyone's going to be happy.
So you hope somebody will take up this and.
We're looking for a buyer.
For the right.
We will work with the right people. It's, it takes a special kind of crazy to do this. I mean, it just does.
It's turnkey, it's turnkey. And now that the word is out on social media that the place we're closed for good, for whatever that means. That's a great phrase. We're closed for good, for the good of everything, right?
Yeah, that's true. For the good of you, for what your other thing is.
For the
That's
good of the
interesting.
for the good of the new owners.
Yeah, I love it.
So it's better. we were talking about this. It's semantics, right? But it's better than permanently closed.
Right.
Because
If
someone's
you're
coming.
closed for good, it's like, well,
What exactly does that mean? Yeah.
It's open to
That can be-
interpretation.
yeah, exactly.
We
I love
believe everything happens in its time.
Yeah.
And we weren't supposed to leave yet because we've had the best years the last couple years since we've gone to the pie bar. And we cut out the food. The food was a big overhead. The food was a big nightmare because as owners, I don't care how wonderful your staff are, you end up doing some of the dirty work every night. You go, oh man, someone forgot this oven. Yeah, we have 4 ovens.
Oh, wow.
So every piece of equipment is clean every night. Floors are swept and mopped every night. Everything's disinfected every night. When you're the mom and dad and a mom and pop, guess who's cleaning their way out the door? Cleaning the toilet,
Doing all
sweeping the
the
floor.
work.
It's kind of like, remember the Bullwinkle cartoons where he's like sweeping his way off the stage? I would be sweeping my way out of here going, oh, it's getting dark. I better go home. And we'd do it again the next day and the next day. And we didn't mind because it was our baby.
Right.
But when we stopped doing the full service food thing, life got easier. And I sent people to the other cafes. They'd come back for pie. We'd have a great time.
That's awesome.
It's like, this may be skimming the cream off the top, but I don't care. It's fun. And the clientele, they were all here for the pie. It's not like, I didn't want mayo on my burger. It was like, pie, look at all the, and we were able to do more pie, more fun,
More different pies
creative,
and-
because we weren't doing soup and stew and burgers and breakfast. So when we went to the pie bar thing, it was like the light bulb came on. We don't need to do food anymore. The Continental Divide hikers and bikers can eat at the restaurants. Let's just go crazy with pie. That's what we did. And it's been fun. We just knew at some point we'd find someone that wanted to come take over and we'd phase out and we'd have a big party.
Yeah.
Ignore that. We'd have a big party. And I told someone the other day, I said, we have to have.
It's fun.
We haven't been able to have the big party yet.
Yeah. So I like that that's the plan. Then I'll have to try to come back for that.
We just don't know.
I just wanted green chili peach pie.
You know, it feels
It's
almost
the favorite
like
thing I've ever had. No, it's just,
that's what you had it here before?
yeah.
when people
I just
ask
love
about the different, well, what's your weirdest pie? I'm like, well, probably the pinto bean, which was a subsistence pie when they grew pinto beans here in the 40s.
Oh, interesting.
You have to put a lot of sugar in it and beat it to death. You could almost picture a pumpkin.
Okay.
But the peach and the chili came out of, remember we had all the peaches coming in from, Utah? Big truckload comes every fall, every late summer, early fall. And if the peaches are like run down your arm, I'm like, I want them all, buy them all. And we'd have cases of peaches everywhere. It smelled like heaven in here. And then the chilies from the valley were ready. And we put up chilies every year for all year. So I have chilies coming in the back from one truck in big steaming sacks, boxes of peaches coming in this door. And I'm like, oh, we have to put all these up.
The light bulb went off.
And it was, well, no, keep the peaches over there.
Oh, gotcha.
Keep the chilies over there. They got together. Yum, yum. The peaches were cool and sweet, and the chilies were spicy and warm.
They have that heat to them that's
And we're
just
like,
right.
oh. And it's like, this is a pie.
Yeah.
And it's heaven.
It's magical.
It's
really
good
is.
for you. It makes you feel good.
It does.
Picks you up and makes you happy. And that's the magic of pie. And that's the thing that kept us going, was we could make more fun pie.
Yeah.
And people could be blown away with a simple piece of pie. And it was like, wow, how cool is this?
Yeah.
And so we've actually enjoyed the last couple of years a lot, and thought, it'll take its natural transition. The right, wonderful people will come along wanting to do this, and we'll go off to Mogollon and open that again. The COVID thing, when we finally realized this is not practical at this point in time, we may as well just jump ahead.
Yeah.
It's going to disappoint a lot of people, but you can't stay on the fence forever.
No. Yeah.
There's a voicemail. They will get the message.
Good.
Besides, it's really traumatic to have to explain it to people over and over again.
It's hard to believe. I mean,
I've gotten such beautiful messages of consolation. It's like no one died, but it kind of feels sad like that.
Yeah.
But everyone wraps it up with, we're so happy if this is what makes you happy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because you spent so much of your last, 20 some years making other people happy. Do it.
The real bottom line is we've been doing it 25 years. Kathy's been doing it 25 years. I've been helping 20. And, there is an end to it. I mean, we're not getting any younger.
Yeah.
And we kind of went through it. When Kathy got this place back from the last leasee that she leased it to in 2001, then we met in Mogollon, in fact, and we came, and then the leasee, run the business into the ground. I don't know if she told you that story or not.
No.
One of the many episodes of this place.
Okay.
Over the last 25 years. The leasee was, just not, they had the right intentions, but that's how it always goes.
Yeah.
And she had a contract with them and everything, but it didn't take about a year and the business went south and then the rent stopped coming in. So she had to evict them, legally throw them out.
Oh, bummer.
And, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't easy. And when we came back here in 2003 and this place was
Trashed.
Oh, really?
It was trashed beyond.
Trashed.
Bummer.
The ovens and refrigerators were gone.
Oh, really?
It was
stole
awful.
a lot of stuff.
It was awful.
Oh.
Twice I have let
Wrote on all the walls.
Oh.
Twice
Broken
I
windows.
That's
twice I have let
horrible.
well-meaning associates, people that were customers, became friends. Twice I've been seduced by, we could do this for you. And we'll send you a little money. And I'm like, you're going to pay me to leave? Okay.
I'll consider that.
When my mother left, it was difficult to pick up the pieces. She was the powerhouse. My mother started this. She had restaurant experience. I didn't.
Okay.
She could make pies all day long. I couldn't. When she left, I worked with my daughter. And then after a couple of years of butting heads with a 20-year-old, I liked it better when grandma was here. I'm like, go get a real job. Good luck with that. After a couple of years of relying on friends to help me out as the business grew slowly, I got really burned out. Any restaurant person will tell you, you can't do it all. You cannot come in the morning, make the food, serve the public, clean the dishes, do the books. You just go shopping.
Yeah.
Like when? At 8:30 at night and come home at 2 a.m. with groceries and get up at 6 to do it again. I didn't have Stanley.
So that was...
So twice I have run away and let people run it, and both times it was a nightmare.
So that was 17 years ago. That was when we bailed her out of here. And Kathy said, we came up here from Mogollon and, it was like, well, a real estate agent offered her $50,000 for the whole package, 2.5 acres and all this 300 foot of frontage and the cabin and all these buildings.
Well, it wasn't famous
and
then.
Kathy's going, well,
maybe we should take
we
it.
should take it. And I said, no way.
Yeah.
We're going to turn it around.
I'm glad you didn't.
So it took, about
2.5.
about 3 years before we actually, it was like 06, about 06, we got it off the ground.
Okay.
Again, restoration. We tried a couple of different things here and there. And finally got, the infrastructure, the plumbing, the wiring, the gas, all that stuff to where it would work.
Pass code.
And pass code. And then we started the ramp, Employees always hard to come by out here. Drugs and alcohol always go with hospitality workers, no matter in the city or out here. Out here is probably worse. But we did finally, after years of, culling,
find some decent folks.
A crew that would work.
Yeah.
And the last few years have been great.
Oh, good.
So and that's, projecting your reality, what you really want.
Yeah.
Knowing what you really want is the most important.
And you attract it.
Yeah.
And
Attract.
eventually it'd come around. So we did it. We did the full circle. We brought it out of the ground, got some great pies going, sold some great pies, made a lot of people, thousands of people happy.
Made a lot of new friends too.
And
Like Grant.
so now it's like, well, what do you want to do now?
Last couple months have been filled with a lot of, what day is it?
Yeah, I've felt that way.
What should we do? We have to do something, but what?
Yeah.
And I believe most people are in that together.
We are.
What are we doing next? We don't know.
Yeah, I think we are.
We're punting.
Yeah.
Whatever that means for each person in their particular situation. Everyone's taken a collective sigh and going, well, I've got to do something.
Yeah. I'm seeing a lot of people changing their lives as well. It's pretty interesting.
They have to.
Yeah. Yeah.
What we used to know as routine and normal is different.
Yeah. I mean, even just how they view the world to a certain extent, It's pretty,
That's good.
I hope that's a positive thing.
I'm surprised at how positive it is. And I'm seeing a lot of that.
Do you think that we've all just realized we're not eternal and everything's got an expiration date? All of a sudden we're mortal.
That's a huge part of it.
And all of a sudden we should appreciate.
This can just all end really quickly.
Maybe we should appreciate things on a daily basis.
All the things. Yeah.
All the things.
All the little things. It's the little stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of little stuff. It's all important when you've got this much time to contemplate what it's all about.
Yeah.
So what's your schedule? You were in Santa Fe?
I'm in Santa Fe now, hanging out a couple of days, and then I head to Denver tomorrow. And
All on motorcycle.
yeah, all on motorcycle.
What a fab! You remind me of like Blue Highways.
Oh yeah.
William Lee's Teat Moon.
I don't think I know that.
Sure.
Okay, you'll pick it up.
I will.
Yeah. Have you have interviews lined up then?
I do. In Denver, I'm talking to a guy that works in the petroleum industry up in like Texas and piping, and so talk about that industry, and then
that's quite a.
It's pretty interesting. I guess everything just ground to a halt. Well, you saw like oil prices at one point were negative $35 a barrel. So I want to hear explain to me what the hell that even means.
Yeah, explain to me what you do with all that oil
Basically,
you're
they were
pumping
paying
that no
people
one's
to
buying.
take it. Yeah, because they couldn't store it, and it's like
I did a study in 1967 actually at the university. I was in electrical engineering, and they wanted to know. My study was on alternative sources from fossil fuel, alternative energy sources. And so I did a whole study, and it all boiled right down to the economics of it. It's perfect economics. And the thing over the last 50 years, the point was when the graphs cross point, the cost of solar and renewables are going down. The cost of fossil fuels
it's going up.
As soon as they cross, everything changes. Boom, done deal.
Yeah.
Well, the crosshairs have already passed. What they have not considered was environmental cleanup.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they've all considered all the fossil fuel guys have considered environmental cleanup in wind and fossil fuel, but they haven't looked at their own backyard. Yeah, because they're in fossil fuel. Yeah. They want to make the most that they can in the shortest time. It's a short-term gain. Yeah. For them at this point. That's the way I see it anyway. Fossil fuel guys. Well, I was in power distribution for about 10 years off. Okay. I know the power of the game. Yeah. Hydroelectric, nuclear. I studied GE nuclear boiling water reactors. Oh, cool. Back in the day. And I got invested in a lot of time in different energy sources. And today it's like, the tide those crosshairs all of a sudden has happened. It's like all of a sudden people are considering at least the environmental cleanup of oil spills. Right. And, air pollution from it.
Yeah.
They still have to feed their families. They
Yeah,
still
you
have to
still
figure
have-
out if they're not going to do that, what are they going to do?
Right.
You got whole generations
Yeah.
that, like ranchers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they don't know how to do anything else.
So it's a transition time, and it's a big transition time right now.
I'm hoping that's what we're seeing as well as the insane need for continual growth
Yeah.
and capitalism, which
Yeah.
I appreciate certain aspects of capitalism, but the idea that everything needs to always look like this,
Yeah.
I'm hoping
Well,
this
we started-
helps us, right? Well, I'm hoping this time helps us reevaluate that and go, I'm willing to pay a little bit more for this other thing. And
Make choices.
yeah,
Like, okay, I
Better
won't
choices.
get 16 of those things. I'll
Yeah.
get one of these and
Yeah.
it'll last a lot longer.
Right.
And my neighbor down the street made it.
Yeah.
It didn't come in on a boat.
Yeah.
the-
I mean, nothing against cheap products that you can't afford an alternative.
Yeah.
But if you can afford an alternative, you have an obligation
Consider it at least. Yeah.
comes the table, guys.
to do the right thing. You can meet them at the back door and
I think we're going to take that table right out this way, actually. Well,
Really?
maybe not.
Well, we can wrap this up
Okay.
too. How much time is on that thing?
blah blah
40
blah
minutes.
blah 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 blah.
This is my longest one yet. Good
The
job.
pie will live on. The pie will live
The
on.
pie will live on.
The pie will live on because people want it, and they will.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Beat a
hoping
path to the door.
we'll have to talk. Maybe I'll come out here and take over.
I would work
being-
with the right person.
Just being in Santa Fe for the past 2 days, I'm like, I got to move out of LA. I can't do it anymore.
You're smart.
I love it there. It's awesome.
Oh, I lived there twice.
Okay. It's great.
I kept trying. But, I think the last time on the freeway, I just said,
Yeah.
I got to go back to New Mexico.
Yeah. It's wonderful here.
It
Love
is. And if you can live in the back,
Yeah.
there's a little efficiency. And come out here and ta-da, like showtime.
Yeah. It's fun.
You're the creator of your destiny.
Yeah.
You do what you want.
Yeah.
The people will support you if it's authentic, whatever it is.
I love that.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
If they see that you're having a good time producing it, they're going to love it.
Yeah.
And people can adapt to a little change.
Yeah.
Everyone's changing right now, like it or not.
Yeah.
So I know the right entities will come in here and go, let us at it.
Yeah.
I want to do this. And it can be converted back into a restaurant easily. We have all the stuff. I have a faith in the universe.
Yeah. Something will happen.
It will.
It won't go away.
No.
It can't.
It's on hold.
It can't. It's just on pause. That's right.
It's on pause.
I love
Pie
it.
is on pause.
Thank
okay.
you so much for your time.
I wish I could hug you.
I appreciate it. I know. I wish I
Thank
could have
you for
too.
your time.
It's so weird not being able to touch people. All right. Chicken Man out.
Hasta.